Hey everyone, and welcome to today's Explainer. We are diving into an incredibly powerful framework drawn directly from Brian Tracy's landmark book, Maximum Achievement. I'm super excited to walk you through this, honestly, because it completely reframes how we view our own potential. Right at the very beginning, Tracy uses this brilliant analogy. He says, life is basically like a giant combination lock, just with a few more numbers. The secret? If you turn to the right numbers in the exact right sequence, well, the lock literally has to open for you. It's not magic, and it definitely doesn't rely on luck. It's just about having the right system. So today, we're going to learn those exact combinations to unlock the hidden powers of your mind.
Everything we're unpacking today comes straight from this book. But I want you to think of Maximum Achievement not just as some standard motivational read, but as a highly precise, step-by-step instruction manual. It's designed to help you get the absolute most out of yourself. We're distilling years of Tracy's rigorous research and testing into a really focused guide, perfect for anyone ready to completely optimize their personal operating system.
All right, so here is our step-by-step blueprint. First up, designing your life's masterpiece. Number 2, the laws of mental mastery. Third, reprogramming your comfort zone. Fourth, the master skill of goals. And finally, unlocking the superconscious mind. Let's jump right in.
Part 1. Designing your life's masterpiece. Defining your ideal future.
Tracy makes a really profound point here. You literally cannot hit a target that you can't see. So before you do anything else, before you put any grand plans in motion, you've got to decide exactly what success means to you. You have to design your life's masterpiece. Imagine holding up a picture frame to every single part of your life, your career, your relationships, your health. If you had to make a past decision today, knowing everything you know right now, what would you do differently? Answering that takes an incredible amount of courage because it really forces you to face exactly where you might be compromising.
So, tackling that tough question requires a concept known as zero-based thinking. Honestly, this is the starting line for all great achievement. It means vividly imagining that you could go back to the very beginning of any situation in your life and just start over, completely from scratch, without a single compromise holding you back. You can't let yourself get bogged down by all the reasons why something seems impossible today. You absolutely must define the ideal first.
It's so interesting to look at the stark contrast between true success and the default mode a lot of us operate in. On one side, you have true peace of mind. This acts as your internal gyroscope. It's that feeling when you are perfectly balanced, living in total harmony with your absolute highest values. On the flip side, we have what's called the Type A trap. This is where so many high performers get completely stuck. It's this endless, exhausting cycle driven by a constant insecurity around status, where accomplishments and material things get valued way above actual people. And the kicker? No matter how much they achieve, the Type A personality feels like they have to wake up and start all over again the next day. True achievement, the real masterpiece we want to design, requires that internal gyroscope, definitely not the Type A trap. Okay, moving on to Section 2, Laws of Mental Mastery, the operating system of your reality.
If peace of mind is the ultimate goal, well, these mental laws are the underlying rules that will actually get you there. Think of them as your reality's operating system. It kicks off with the law of cause and effect, what Tracy calls the iron law of the universe. It's super straightforward. For every effect in your life, there is a specific cause. There are literally no accidents. Then there's the law of expectations, where whatever you confidently expect basically becomes your own self-fulfilling prophecy. And this is crucial. The law of attraction and the law of concentration dictate that whatever you dwell upon grows. Your thoughts are essentially acting as a giant magnet, pulling in the people, the resources, and the situations that perfectly match your dominant mental state.
There's this fantastic quote that captures the law of belief so beautifully. Tracy points out that whatever you believe with feeling becomes your reality, and that your beliefs literally give you a form of tunnel vision. Your mind will actively edit out, just completely ignore any incoming information that doesn't fit with what you've already decided is true. I mean, think about that. If you hold on to self-limiting beliefs, your brain will literally blind you to the amazing opportunities right in front of you just because they contradict those limitations.
Which brings us to Section 3, Reprogramming Your Comfort Zone, Overcoming Homeostasis.
Since our beliefs literally dictate our reality, if we want to achieve radically different results on the outside, we have to become a completely different person on the inside. We've got to upgrade our mental hardware. Think of your mind like the central processing unit in a massive computer network. It is so delicate and instantly responsive to the exact data you feed it. Every single piece of new information, whether it's true or totally false, immediately alters how every other area in the network operates. If you feed it negative, fearful inputs, your whole system bogs down. But if you feed it high-quality, zero-based thinking, the entire network optimizes.
And this sets up the ultimate daily tug-of-war we all face. On one hand, every single one of us has a built-in failure mechanism. It's just human nature to follow the path of least resistance and hunt for immediate gratification. And the scariest part? It operates automatically 24 hours a day. But the incredible news is we also have a success mechanism built right in. This mechanism is so powerful, it can completely override the failure mechanism. But there's a catch. It is only triggered by a goal. It just sits there, totally dormant, until you fuel it with an intense sense of purpose.
Section 4. The Master Scale of Goals. Triggering your success mechanism.
Since clear goals are the literal on switch for that success mechanism, how do we actually trigger it? Well, here are the exact combinations to the lock. First, you have to find your area of excellence. That's the one thing you are uniquely wired to do exceptionally well. Second, you've got to apply the principle of balance. Your goals can't just be about making money. You need targets across all the critical areas of your life so everything rolls smoothly. Third, and this is absolutely vital, you must choose one overarching goal. This becomes your central purpose, the catalyst that fires up all those mental laws we talked about. And finally, you have to make a highly detailed plan of action, completely organized by time and priority. Now, goal setting is definitely a deeply personal internal process. But turning those goals into reality, that is not a solo mission. This is where the principle of organized effort comes in. You have to remember that your overarching goal is inevitably going to require the cooperation of other people. Your ability to help others achieve their goals so they will turn around and help you achieve yours is strictly indispensable. It's the basis for all great accomplishment.
And that leads perfectly into Section 5, Unlocking the Superconscious Mind, the Master Power.
When you stack all of this together, the goal orientation, the organized effort, the mental laws, you tap into what Tracy calls the master power, the superconscious mind. This is a faculty that operates entirely outside of your conscious awareness. When you activate it with that clear, decisive, overarching goal, it starts acting like a superpowered magnet. It works continuously, around the clock, to solve every problem that pops up on the way to your target. You know when you have a sudden, brilliant flash of insight, or perfectly timed coincidence that solves a massive problem out of nowhere? That is the superconscious mind at work. It reaches way outside your normal experience to bring you solutions that are just flawlessly appropriate to your exact situation.
To really hammer home just how intense this focus needs to be, there's a killer observation here from management legend Peter Drucker. He said, "Whenever you find something getting done, anywhere, you will find a monomaniac with a mission." That is exactly what it takes to activate the superconscious mind. You can't be casual about it. You need an intense, borderline obsessive goal orientation, where you are literally burning the mental bridges behind you and cutting off any thought of retreating.
So we have the instruction manual. We know exactly how the combination lock works. We know for a fact that without a goal, your failure mechanism is totally running the show. But with a clear target, you unlock that superconscious master power. So looking at your life as a masterpiece right now, what single overarching goal are you going to choose today to trigger your ultimate success mechanism? Take control of that mental operating system, define your goal, and just watch your reality change. Thank you so much for joining me for today's explainer, and I highly encourage you to go out and apply these concepts right away.